Hello everybody and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo, where we're continuing from where we left off. So, why got you into running anyway? Well, I've been running since I was really little. My dad was a runner, so soon as I could walk, he started teaching me how to run. It was our father-daughter thing, you know? Our only mutual hobby. A shadow crosses her face and I'm shocked to see her looking sad. Did something happen between them? Man, I don't have a lot of time left. Sorry, but I got to get a few more laps in before I go see the nurse. She races off around the track, hair streaming in the wind. It seems to me she is going a lot faster than she was this morning. As she rounds the track, I catch a glimpse of her face. It's much the same as it was this morning, but the eyes seem to have taken on a harder edge. I guess she's right. I don't really know much about her. I watch her run for a while and then stand up to head back to my room. Hey! She stops me leaving and waves to catch my attention. Don't forget, same time tomorrow morning, got it? Got it. I head back to my room. Homework beckons. I can't sleep. My body's tired, but my mind is kept awake, staring at the ceiling in the hollow darkness of my room. I grasp desperately for a thread of thought, hoping that I can run my brain into the ground. All I can think of is how I can't think of anything. This is not productive at all. I wonder if this is a side effect of my medication, though it seems odd for it to take so long to show up. Then again, maybe I'm just not used to my new surroundings as I'd like to think. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I'm awake and I shouldn't be. This is ridiculoso. Ignoring my body's stiffness, I get out of bed and look at my clock. 4 in the morning. Last time I checked, it was only 1, so maybe I slept a little. I don't know. I throw on some clothes and head out of my room. A walk might do me some good. I'm surprised at how chill the air is compared to the relative warmth of the day. I can almost see my breath as I wander the campus, waiting for the sun to come up, or for me to fall asleep. At this point, either option works for me. I find myself at the track for where the first time ever Emmy's not out running. I suppose that makes sense. It's too early even for her. The bleacher seats are cold, but at this point I welcome the sensation. The sun is starting to show its face over the horizon, and I know with an awful certainty that I'll get no more sleep tonight. The sun's steadily strengthening rays starts to warm me up, and I watch the dew on the ground begin to steam slightly. My mind calms down a little. Someone's shaking me. Hey, wake up! Huh? Where? What? I guess I fell asleep after all. What are you doing out here? You want to catch a cold or something? I open my eyes and I am confronted by Emmy, who bends over with a worried expression. I'm still a little groggy, so my response comes out in a mumble. I couldn't sleep. Watch the sun come up. Sounds like something Rin would say. I shrug, feeling the stiffness that comes with sleeping on a bench for a few hours. Is it? I wouldn't know. Emmy grins a little at a somewhat cranky response. So couldn't sleep, eh? Obviously we need to run you harder today. Even though I've only known her for about a week, she seems a very Emmy-ish response to the problem. Hey, my bunny was plenty exhausted after yesterday. My mind was just racing, that's all. I don't see the difference. If you run hard enough, your brain will get tired too. I'm seriously questioning the wisdom of doing this first thing in the morning. I don't know if my grades will be able to handle me tiring my brain out like that. Emmy pulls me up from the bleachers with surprising strength for someone her size. Now come on, Hisao, we've got work to do. I don't actually know if I'm up to this today, to be honest. I mean, I obviously didn't get much sleep, and what sleep I got was on the bleachers. I don't know, should I really be running? Emmy glares at me. Good heavens. What are you talking about? Of course you should be running. How else do you expect to work out the kinks? You've been sleeping on the bleachers for heaven's sake. The best way to get the soreness out is to run around a little. Now stop hiding in the bleachers and get down here. There's no arguing that. I'm pretty sure she'd kill me if I didn't do as she said. I get to my feet and hop down to the track. The sun is warming things up rather nicely, I think. Amy and I begin to stretch out, and I find myself once again hard-pressed not to stare. If this is how I have to wake up every day, I might be able to get used to this. You know, Hisao, it's not polite to stare. I wasn't staring, I swear. Amy raises his eyebrow and considers me for a minute, as if evaluating my response. There's a brief moment where I'm afraid for my life. But then she smiles and laughs, shaking her head slowly. Honestly, you didn't have to deny it so strenuously. In response, I clap my hands together and go for a change of subject. So, that's enough stretching, right? Emmy gives a casual shrug. Do you feel stretched? That's really how you tell. Well, I do feel up to the run, if that's what she means. Yeah, I feel ready to go. Same as yesterday, okay? We'll just run for a mile at a steady pace. Don't worry about going really fast, just worry about keeping the pace. Got it? You're the boss. You're the biggest boss. Emmy grins again, and we take off around the track. I think I'm going to die. We're not even done with the first lap and my legs are on fire. My breath is coming out in raged gasps. I can feel sweat pouring down my brow, and we've only got just now around the second turn. Come on, Hisao, you got 3 more laps to go. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this! I think I might hurl. Somehow we're going somewhere around the second lap. Emmy's not even sweating. How could she do this so effortlessly? For some reason, I'm still moving. She's like a machine. Third lap, what happened to the second? Almost there, Hisao. Liar, we got another 2. Nothing to be done. I can't do this. Emmy whirls around and begins running backwards. Her face is a mask of anger that surprises me. Never say that. If you say that, you'll have already lost. Keep moving. If you're alive, you can keep moving, damn it. Wow, language. We're on the 4th lap now. She really seems to want me to keep going. Legs, move, move, move. They feel so sluggish. I'm in mud, or molasses, or tar. I can't go on. I'll go on. Final stretch, Hisao. Give it all you got. I put my legs as fast as they'll go. They keep refusing to obey my commands. Somehow, I keep moving. Somehow, I finish. That's it, Hisao. I know you had it in you. The anger Emmy shows a lap ago is gone, replaced with pride. She's positively radiant. Like she just won the gold medal or something. I stagger to a stop and fall on my hands and knees, grasping for air. My heart is pounding far faster than it has in a long time. I don't think it's done this since. Oh God. Please slow down, heart. Just slow down. Stop racing. I cough and for some reason feel a grin crossing my face. So this is how I die, huh? Trying to stay healthy? How ironic. I'm all ready to give up right there. But then I feel my heart slow down. Two hands grab me under my arm and tug me upwards. I look up and see Emmy standing over me with a mixture of delight and worry. On your feet, soldier! Ugh, hold on. Let me just move a little bit. Come on, you'll never catch your breath that way. Somehow I manage to stand. I try to raise my arms above my head, but they feel like lead. I start to walk around the track while Emmy keeps close to me, like she's afraid if I'll fall over or something. She may not be far off. I feel terrible, and say so. Emmy laughs. But you finished, didn't you? You said you couldn't, but you did. Isn't that worth it? I'm not sure. I don't really have the breath to say so. But the small grin I felt on my face earlier hasn't left. So what if my heart's weak? I still survived this morning. Maybe I'll survive tomorrow too. As soon as it becomes apparent that I'm not going to surely keel over, Emmy takes off on her sprints. I don't know how the hell she keeps managing to sprint after running a mile, but I guess she's in much better shape than I am. Once again, as I walk around the track, I can't help watching Emmy sprint. It's weird, but it's like she's a different person when she's pushing herself. Last time I noticed her eyes, but this time it's her mouth that catches my attention. She's not wearing her normal grin. She's still smiling, but there's a tightness to it. It's almost grim, but she's fighting a losing battle that doesn't care. She doesn't seem to be running harder like she did yesterday. Sweat has started to pour down her face, but she keeps going. Her mouth finally opens as she can no longer get enough air through her nose. As she passes me once more, legs pumping, arms swinging in time, and her lips slightly parted, she looks beautiful. After we both taken some laps around the track to cool down, Emmy changes back to her usual self. The transformation I saw in her is gone. Not bad today, Hisao. There's almost admiration in her voice. What do you mean? I would have stopped if you hadn't yelled at me. Emmy colors a little, seemingly embarrassed about her outburst. Sorry about that. I just can't stand to see people give up. Especially about something like this. Saying I can't go on is silly when you're obviously going on while you're saying it. That's what this is all about. What, saying silly things? Emmy sticks her tongue out at me. Idiot, I mean showing that you're alive. Showing I'm alive, huh? I don't know if you had to be so painful. But it doesn't feel pretty good. But it does feel pretty good, despite that. Besides, this is one of the hardest days. What do you mean? Whenever you start a workout, it's difficult the first day, really hard the second day, and then the third day is easier. You'll still get days that are really hard, but they'll pop up less and less. So this will eventually get really easy, huh? Yeah, of course. But then you have to increase the difficulty, or you'll never get ahead. You'll just get complacent, and you'll lose the sense of accomplishment. So I have to run more, even more than just 4 laps, huh? Yep, but that's not for a while. You have to be careful, you know. A thought strikes Emmy, and her face lights up. Got it? Got what? You can come with me to see the nurse. That way you won't fall over or die anything. How charming. When? Right now, of course. You'll need a shower and everything, right? We don't have much time then. Grabbing my hand, she's off, pulling me along with her. My goodness, my goodness, but you're in a hurry today, aren't you, Emmy? I have no idea how we got to the nurse's office so fast, but here we are. The nurse grins at Emmy and seems to completely ignore me. You got plenty of time to take a shower and get to class, you know. There's no need to run through the hallways like that. I could hear you coming a mile away. Somehow, it doesn't seem like he's actually scolding Emmy at all. It's like this sort of routine between them. It's like this is a sort of routine between the two of them. Emmy's does a passable imitation of remorse. I'm sorry, I won't ever do it again. The nurse and Emmy both laugh at some private joke. Suddenly, it seems that he notices me. Ah, hello, Hasao. What brings you here? Well, Hasao officially joined me on my morning runs. I start to explain, but Emmy cuts me off. I thought we might need to visit you so that he doesn't die or anything. The nurse raises his eyebrows in mock horror. Yes, that would certainly put me out of the job fast, wouldn't it? Well then, Hisao, let's have a look at you. Lift up your shirt, would you? I'm suddenly very conscious of the fact that Emmy is in the room with me, and blush in spite of myself. The nurse seems to sense my discomfort, but it only seems to amuse him. A bit shy, are we? He makes me apologetic. He makes an apologetic bow to Emmy. Sorry, Emmy. I tried to get you a free show, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Emmy stiffens slightly and fires a look of annoyance at him. You're an asshole. What the? Emmy bows to me apologetically. I'll wait outside, okay, Hisao? I begin to stammer that it's not really a big deal. He doesn't have to leave, but she's already out the door and the nurse is laughing as he watches her go. Still got it. Haha. Heh. I don't follow. He laughs again. He laughs again like he's in on some joke that's over my head. I can still get her flustered. It's a competition of sorts we've had going on for a while now. That sounds increasingly sinister to me, and it seems as if the nurse realizes that too. That sounded a lot worse than it actually is, come to think of it. I wasn't going to say anything. No, you're right. I should fill you in so that you don't get the wrong idea. I'm actually relatively new here, you see. I got hired the same year as Emmy started going here. Before that, I worked with Emmy during her initial rehab following her accident. Hold on, what? We had to amputate her legs after a really nasty car wreck. It nearly killed her, and succeeded. He shuts up abruptly. I blink at receiving this unexpected piece of news. Well, that's not my place to say anyway. Anyway, we've known each other for quite a while. So we have a slightly more familiar relationship than is strictly professional. He seems embarrassed, like he's done something stupid. I guess he's really worried about that. I wave a hand to let him know that it's not a big deal. Don't worry, sir. I promise I won't go. I promise I'm going to be discreet. I've been wondering about what caused Emmy to lose her legs, and that was one of the scenarios I thought of. There were only so many ways that could have happened, but actually hearing about the facts, it's still a little shocking. Well, thanks. You're a good kid, Hisao. I can see why Emmy became friends with you. She's quite a indomitable. She's quite indomitable, you know. What do you mean? You didn't see her learning to walk. She'd gone from so much longer. She'd go for so much longer than the others in the hospital. She refused to quit. Normally it takes years to get to the point where you can even think about running again. Emmy did it all in about a year. It almost he almost seems proud of her, like a father who watches his daughter win a competition or something. Hell, she probably had done it faster if not for the fact that we wouldn't let her. Wouldn't let her? Why not? Because she'd go for so long that her legs would start bleeding where they met her prosthetics. It's a real concern. It's why she comes by every day after she runs. To say nothing of the risk of infection and her legs can get cut up and her prosthetics are dirty. But enough about that. If we don't get you on your way soon, Emmy will think we're up to something. As he says this, he gives a wink and begins checking my heartbeat. The stethoscope is way too cold. He really should have heated it up or something before he used it. After a few moments, he leans back, satisfied. Well, you sound pretty good to me, Hasao. You don't have any chest pains while you were running, did you? No, not really. I had trouble catching my breath, though, and my heart was racing by the end, too. The nurse frowns as I say this, but then shrugs. It's probably just because you're out of shape. But if you don't improve, then you should let me know. Don't push yourself too much. And of course, if you have any chest pains, come to me immediately, right? I put my shirt back on, and the nurse leans out the doorway to call in Emmy. What took you so long? I'm going to be late. The nurse gives me a significant look. I was just seducing Hasao, that's all. What? Come on. What have I told you about seducing my friends? I'd expected Emmy to be shocked by this, but instead she seems merely annoyed, scolding the nurse as if he were a child stealing cookies. Meanwhile, I tried hard not to blush at the nurse's innuendo. I'll try not to do it again, though I fear young Hasao may be lost to the female gender forever. Not freaking likely. I didn't mean to say that out loud, but both the nurse and Emmy regard me for a moment before bursting into laughter again. Told you he was funny, didn't I? Huh, I guess Emmy does talk to the nurse about a lot of stuff. Well, Hasao, you should probably get moving. You still need a shower before class starts, don't you? Crap, he's got a point. And it looks like I've only got a half hour. Thanks for your time. I'll see you later, Emmy. I dash out the door as the nurse begins to remove Emmy's prosthetics. As I head down the hallway, I can just barely hear her voice drifting after me. Emmy, you get to be more careful. I make it back to my school and shower in record time. It occurs to me that I've already been up for 4 hours and class hasn't even started yet. This is going to be a really, really long day. I hope I don't fall asleep in class. La da 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 da, broken heart. Gonna play some more games. The morning sunlight streaming through my window wakes me up instead of my alarm, and I realize that it must be Sunday. Emmy has kindly denied to give me weekends off from our morning runs. I don't actually know if I woke up at all yesterday, or if I just slept through the entire day. My legs groan in a protest as I lever myself out of bed. All this running has really taken it out of me. Still, I can't deny that Emmy wasn't lying to me. It has gotten a little easier. I'd been worried that the runs would start to wear out on my nerves, but thus far I haven't minded them that much. Well, it's only been a week. I suppose there's plenty of time for me to start dreading the sound of my alarm in the morning. Not that I could ever skip out on. As Emmy said, it's harder to stop a routine when there's another person. And frankly, I don't think I'm equipped to deal with a disappointed Emmy. She'd probably give me those puppy dog eyes and I'd feel terrible about myself. Which reminds me, wasn't I supposed to be somewhere today? Hey, you're coming to the track meet on Sunday, right? What am I talking about? Of course you are. Right? Those puppy dog eyes again. Of course, I'm going. I owe you, right? Exactly. So don't forget, okay? Crap! Emmy's track meet! I better get a move on if I don't want to miss her running, since she is the only reason I'm even considering going. Otherwise, it would defeat the whole purpose of going. And so I soon find myself quite suddenly surrounded by a crowd of people, all turning out to see the track team complete another school like this one. I'll admit it, it's almost comforting to know we're not the only school like this. After you see that there can be two schools with a bunch of defective kids, well, you stop feeling so defective. You also stop feeling unique, which is in most cases would be a bad thing, but in this case it sure as hell isn't. That's part of Imako's appeal, I guess. Learn that you're not unique. Hell, learn that a lot of other people who would kill to be saddled with your problem instead of whatever they're dealing with. Some of the kids here aren't here because they're missing a leg or they have a heart condition. Some of them might be here because they're as good as dead in 2, maybe 3 years, if they're lucky. And that's only if they get the right sort of care. It's a bit of sort of comfort to be able to say, well, at least I got a chance of being alive through college. But there it is. I think this is a good place to stop, so next time we'll continue from here. See you guys later.